Hey YouTube, my name is Kayla Rayne, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. So I don't actually have a physical copy with me because I listened to it on audiobook through the Audible app on my phone. I'm going to be discussing a quick review of the book, what I thought about the book, and I'm also going to be putting in some discussion on what I thought of the narration of the audiobook and just the overall way that it was presented. And yes, I still sound kind of weird because my sinus infection is lingering and I don't know if it's ever gonna go away. It refuses to budge, so sorry guys, I sound a little weird, probably for the next couple of videos. Anyway, this book was a really great kind of thriller, mystery, crime-solving book. It was definitely gritty. It was very, very dark. There was quite a bit of sexual content in there. There was definitely self-harm, drinking, drug abuse, not to mention the whole murder aspect of it, but it was definitely a great gritty novel and something that I really enjoyed getting into. So the general premise of this story is Camille, who is a reporter from Chicago, has to go back to her hometown of Wind Gap to report on a story about a previous murder a year earlier on a young girl, Anne, and then the most recent disappearance of another girl around her age, Natalie. Now, Camille, of course, is open to reporting on these gritty, darker stories because she does do that in Chicago. However, she is not very keen to go back to her hometown because she has a lot of her own demons that she hasn't really dealt with. And as the story unfolds, we get to see kind of the murder mystery aspect unfold as Camille finds out more and more about the information of the murder and the disappearances. But the part that I found the most interesting in the story was definitely Camille's story kind of unfolding as she went back to her estranged family with her mother Adora and her younger sister Emma. As we get more into the story, we get to find out more about kind of the things that got Camille into self-harming and kind of her misuse of alcohol, because she definitely hits the bottle a little bit hard every day. And it's really interesting to see kind of the small town culture, seeing the darker side to it and the way that Gillian Flynn presented it in this book. And with all of Gillian Flynn's book, of course, we have characters that aren't necessarily likable, definitely not heroic, very, very flawed, but at the same time, so human. I love that aspect of her books, that you don't get these characters that are just innately good and have this sudden little light bulb go off at the end about how they need to be a good person and all this stuff. No, we get this deep-seated angst and imperfected characters, and it's just really, really fun to read. It's definitely not a hopeful book, and it's not going to leave you feeling good afterwards, but it's definitely going to leave you thinking. And as soon as you think you have something figured out, Flynn definitely kind of flips that on you. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely thought I had things figured out at the end, and when that kind of idea came to fruition, I was like, yes, I got it, I figured it out. But after all the information was given, I kind of went back and thought about the different clues that were given in the story, so it's definitely there for you to figure out. It's just presented in such a way that kind of has you chasing your tail the entire time, trying to figure out who did what, who's guilty, who's innocent, and it's just really fun to read and interesting to try to figure out the dynamics of the mystery. As far as the presentation of the audiobook went, I really, really enjoyed it. The audio version that I listened to was narrated by Anne Marie Lee. It is the version that's on Audible, and I think the narrator did such a fantastic job at narrating Camille's voice, and that she gave this different voice to the other characters that made it really identifiable as to who Camille was talking to. And her accent was really awesome, and from someone from the South, I didn't find it like offensive, because I know sometimes when people do Southern accents, I'm like, we don't sound like that. But she did a really good one, and I thought the overall presentation of the audiobook was really, really nice. I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend listening to this one because it just gave this really nice experience. I'm not going to get into any bits that will spoil the book for you, because I think that this is one of those books that you definitely want to go into it not knowing a whole lot about it, just kind of the basic stuff, And yeah, it was really, really good, really enjoyable, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who kind of wants a mystery that's going to leave them a little bit confounded up until the end. Alright guys, that is it for this book review. Thanks so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos as I upload them. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Bye! That's a great start.